Hey guys, welcome to the third and final round. Looks like I'm on the draw again, so I will keep this in the dark. Kind of a trend that I've been doing is in the dark, I'm a lot more likely to keep hands because I don't really know what I'm looking for. Looks like I'm against Affinity. So this Anger of the Gods is probably going to be pretty good. Well, that's unfortunate. Arcbound Ravager in particular was very unfortunate. So now he just gets to sack his creatures and make his Ravager huge. Okay, so it looks like I'm getting steamrolled here. Pretty sure there's just no way I can win. Let's go to the sideboard. So luckily sideboard games are probably going to be pretty good for me. I have access to quite a few cards here. I have 3 Stony Silence, which are just absurd against him, and 2 Kozilek's Return, which are pretty absurd as well. Celestial Flares aren't that good. Maybe I'll trim those. Ley Lines do almost nothing. Trim those. I think I want the third Anger as well. I can probably cut. I'm debating between cutting a Blood Moon. I mean, it shuts off his manlands, but I already have 2 Kozilek's Returns that kind of eat up his manlands. So yeah, I think I'll trim a Blood Moon. And yeah, we'll try this. So I don't mind Chalice on the play, because naming Chalice on 0 is pretty sweet on my first turn. But on the draw, I'll probably end up cutting it. Okay, I guess I'll keep. If I was on the draw, this would be a snap mulligan, but the fact that I get to play Chalice for 0. Okay, so I have a choice here. I can Chalice for 1, but all of his good cards are pretty much costing 2. But I think Chalicing for 1 is fine. Shuts off all of his like Signal Pass type cards. And I'm so far away from casting it for 2. Okay, so I have 6 sweepers in my deck. This should clean up his board state right now. I'm not going to Helix. I'm just hoping to draw a sweeper. I kind of want to save the Helix in case he draws like a Better 2-drop. There's a Ravager. So I could just Helix one of his Volt Scourges in response. I could also just Helix this, force him to sack a lot of guys. I think I'll do that. Just sacking the Ravager. That's kind of interesting. Drawing another Helix is nice. I'm just gonna flash in Arresto. I'm just gonna hold back. He's definitely drawing a lot of his good 2-drops. I would like to draw like a Rest in Peace or something. I do have 3 of them after all. Oh, that's a good draw. I mean, I did have a lot of good draws there between like the Rest in Pieces and the 6 Wrath effects. Another good draw. So it looks like my opponent's completely locked out of the game. But I was on the play, so I was able to Chalice for 0 on the play. The next game's not going to be quite as easy. I will actually probably just take out all my chalices on the draw because he's just going to dump his hand and they're going to be really bad. So it's like insane on the play, terrible on the draw. I think Celestial Flares might have corner case scenarios where they're reasonable. I don't mind like a Nevermore maybe. I can name like Cranioplating or something. Yeah, we'll try this. What I'm really looking for on the draw is to have like a Stony Silence. And there's a Stony Silence. So I just need to hope that he doesn't have like a Thoughtseize or something that they sometimes have. Or like an absurd rollout. That was a really good draw too. He might be animating this so that he can get Metalcraft for a Thoughtseize. For his sake, I hope he does. That's unfortunate for him. Oh, I was drawing another Stony Silence anyways. That might just be GG. He just shuts off so many of his cards. We also get to Kozilek's return him. Eating, that's champion. What can I say? Deck perfect. I'm just kidding. Drawing Stony Silence is pretty good against Affinity. But that's one reason not to run Affinity and one reason to run Stony Silence. So I wonder what my opponent's thinking about. Maybe he's just raging. How can he always have a Stony Silence when I play Affinity? He's probably just hating his life right now. Thinking it must be nice to have Chalice on 0 on the play, Stony Silence on 2 on the draw. My cards do nothing. But I guess that's why they call this a prison deck, because it just kind of locks the opponent out. Okay, I'm just gonna pass. Maybe my opponent will animate some of these Blink Moth Nexuses. Just like that. Ooh, animate the other one. He doesn't. Okay. Cheek is up. My opponent's just like, how does your cards line up so well against mine? Okay. I'll fetch another planes. Not that I'll need 3 planes, but that might be a problem. You know what? I guess I could have attacked because he doesn't have Metalcraft. There's his Metalcraft. lose this, that's just embarrassing. Better not lose. Just the never didn't have it. Second Stony Silence. Put that guy on the flyer. So now I'm trading 5 for 3, which seems pretty good for me. Normally that would be a really scary card, but when he can't equip it, it's a lot less scary. Oh no, that's just rub-ins right there. You know what, I guess I could have let that resolve, because you can't even activate the Ravager. So that was a misplay on my part. But when your cards are so high impactful, you can make misplays. It doesn't really matter. Just the resto beatdowns. Well, that must have been frustrating for my opponent, but that was awesome for us. So there you guys have it. We just took down probably one of the tier 1 decks in the format with the white-red prison deck. So the deck seemed pretty good. One suggestion that my friend Joey had made is maybe we want like one or two Wrath of Gods in the sideboard, just to answer like Tarmogoyf type creatures a little bit easier. But the Kozilek's Return seemed insane in that matchup there. So maybe we want to keep some number of, all 3 of those sweepers. Maybe we don't need the 4th Anger. Maybe it can be a Wrath, and maybe we can trim something else for a Wrath. But yeah, the deck felt fun. It felt good. It's a somewhat easily accessible deck. The Blood Moons and the Chalices, I think, are the main expensive cards, and then some of the fetches. But the fetches aren't too bad because it's the non-blue ones, like I mentioned earlier. But yeah, the deck felt good. It kind of catches your opponent by surprise because they don't really know what you're doing, and you can just lock them out on like turn 1 or turn 2. So yeah, there you guys have it. I had a lot of fun. We'll see you guys next time with some more modern action.